All right, I just got back from Harbor Freight with my 1,700-pound folding trailer that we are going to be converting into a square drop trailer in three months. So actually the first step is going to be painting the trailer, getting it ready for anti-rust, all that fun stuff, and then we're gonna be putting it together, so. So as you can see here, I've taken everything out and prepped it for rattle line. Basically just covered all the holes in tape. Kind of necessary, kind of not necessary, we'll see. Just trying to make the holes a little bit cleaner for the bolts when they get put in. So that's next, let's go. All right, so we got the tires and wheels on. We got it flipped over. I did that by myself. Definitely don't recommend doing that. If you notice in the video, I put this on upside down. So I had to fix that. Got that on there. We're ready for wiring and on to the next step. Got the two back ones installed. Just drilled a hole through 2 spots, and these are the screws that came with it. They didn't come with nuts. I threw nuts on there to make that stay put. Now we're gonna do that side. I didn't end up putting the mounts in these holes at the front because I failed to realize that they needed to pull out farther before they went down. And this bar was in the way, and I knew it was gonna be a problem, but it was more of a problem than I thought. So we just moved them to the middle. And as you can see, they're doing their job. It's holding everything upright itself. Pretty sturdy. I also got a A-frame trailer jack, and I grabbed this because it was what I had locally, and I didn't feel like looking for anything online because I knew that this was solid. I had to buy an adapter for that to go onto the trailer, so that's coming next. So I had to go to the store to get some tools to screw those 4 bolts in, of course, and put everything else on when I got home. And forgot to record that, so sorry about that. But here's the full setup here. So I bought this separately. I wanted the flat mount to keep it safe, or keep it sturdy. Got this bad boy screwed on. It's a nice jack. In the process, decided to get my floor while I was out. Had a little bit of a warp in it, so we're putting some weights on it, trying to get that warp out. We also got our walls here, so it's time. It is time. Today we also got in the probably one of the biggest expenses on the whole trailer, and that is the door. Everything came in good. It's looking nice. It's gonna be really nice to have. So we're getting that much closer. Okay, we got the floor up on the sawhorses right now. I'm just measuring out the spots where the hex bolts come up so I could bore out some spots for them. This way when the floor sits down, it'll be sitting flat and not on top of these. So let's do that. All right, now that the floor is on, we're gonna start framing out a spot for our insulation and our walls. It's just up from here. floor's on. First frame piece is up. Alright, so as you can see, I got some framing started. We're gonna go ahead and finish this up real quick. All right, I've been down here for a good 8-9 hours today. Took the day off of work to do some work. So I think I'm gonna call it a quits at the moment. Right now, we've got most of the frame up. We got a wall temporarily just there, just to see how it looks. That's gonna go be where the window goes. Door goes right here. I got the door all drawn out, ready to be cut. It's looking good. Left and right wall is on. Door is cut out. Window is cut out. Got the framing all put together, mostly. Starting to look like a trailer now. Alright, so I didn't record it, but we started the wiring here and we got the floor put on. So I got them all running out the front here. Those are all going to feed into a tongue box. It's got all of our electrical in it. Through here, the yellow wire is going to be a plug-in for the rear so that we can run a fridge or anything back there. This white cord here is going to go to the rear as well. That is going to be lights in the rear. This one cord here is coming up and over top here into a outlet. We're going to have a switch here, and then that switch will run up into 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. And then we still have to run some wiring for the vent here, and we still have to run wiring for that plug in there. So I need some more 14 gauge and then some 12 gauge for that. Once that's done, we're gonna seal up the walls and start finishing the interior. All right, little update on the trailer. As you saw, we got it sanded. Today I've been working on getting it insulated and getting all the wiring right where it needs to be. We got the light switch installed next to the door. We got our plug-in installed over here. We got one light right there, one light right there, one light right here, and then another light right there. These are gonna be for the vent. Also got the framing built for the back door today. It needs to be sanded down around the edges to fit perfectly. And then we're gonna get some sheet of plywood to put over top. We'll put it on a long hinge and we'll put some gas struts on either end. Other than that, we gotta get this bad boy ready for fiberglassing and then we're gonna paint it. So today we're gonna start with some fiberglass, and I've kind of taken about 8 out of 10 precautions for it, so hopefully it all works out very well. I'm not too worried, but I do want it to look good and not be a waste of time. I'm running out of time, so it's time to get this thing done. So let's go. So this first side that I did not layer the glue thick enough on the bottom. So we're gonna cut this window out, try to get some glue back under there, see if we can cut some slices into it, get rid of these little bubbles. It's all gonna get covered in epoxy, so I'm not too worried about there being cuts in it. Kind of just a little bit of extra work to make sure it's not all rippled. All right, my phone's about to die, but we're gonna sand this fiberglass down and get it ready for some epoxy. Today we got the tires taken off, and we're gonna throw on a layer of total epoxy on this trailer for a double waterproofing seal. Okay, so in the last clip, you guys saw me put on one coat on the trailer. Over the course of that day, I did add about, I think it was 5 coats that day. So we got a nice thick layer of epoxy on here. The next step is gonna be breaking shit on the ground. Then we're gonna be painting the trailer with its final color. And we're gonna be adding trim and putting on the doors and windows and everything. So the other day I started working on back kitchen counter for the kitchen galley. We got a sink here, and I got this back kitchen counter here where I've cut out this hole, and the sink is gonna pop right down in there. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're gonna cover this with some stick-on laminate and throw that beach right in there. All right, just gonna clean up these edges a little bit, and then we'll throw on that stick-on laminate. All right, I picked up some of this Magic Cover stick-on laminate. You can pretty much get this at most hardware stores. I got this at Bi-Mart actually, but I've seen it at Walmart before. So we're gonna try this out. See how she fits. Just like that. Cheap piece of wood turned into a kitchen counter. So if you haven't noticed already, I can get a little carried away and forget to record things, but I just did this. So we just took some of that scrap wood that we had. It was a little weathered, but I kind of liked it. It reminded me of like an old barn style a little bit. Instead of having, you know, perfectly sanded fresh stuff like we got in here. We got a little bit of aged, weathered, old kitchen barn style back here. So none of that is actually screwed in yet, just kind of sitting in place. We got a 12 volt or 20 volt feeding down here, right here. That's gonna be sitting in an outlet, probably about right there. So that's, if I ever wanna use any really cool appliances back here, or if I ever wanna switch the Yeti out for a plug-in Dometic fridge or freezer, that's what that will be there. And we gotta get the sink all set up and we're ready to rock. Got me a cheap spray painter. We're gonna tape it up and go to town. So I don't have any painting plastic, so what we're gonna do is just take over this leftover roofing stuff and use that, because why not? Okay, so today is definitely not the most ideal conditions. It's a little windy outside. Everything that I've read online said don't use a sprayer in the wind. Well, I live in the windiest place ever, so I'm being a little impatient. I want to get this done as soon as possible so I can actually use the trailer. So we're gonna go for it today. All right, so it's a little windy out here, but we're gonna try to get this done. Hoping the wind doesn't really affect anything. It shouldn't. This sprayer is pretty strong, but let's go for it. All right, so we got the one coat on. It's not looking the best yet. It's a little baby poopy. Blends in well at the same time. Kind of the same color as the trees, so it is what it is. We're gonna let this dry for a little bit and then put on another coat. Today we got some of our siding in the mail, and that's just gonna be some diamond plate siding. Gonna protect the bottom half and cover up that bullshit. You know, that's obviously my fault, but that's gonna cover it up. Getting close. All right, we got the trim on. Corners were definitely tricky, especially for someone who's never done this before, but we made it work. Calling it a day. Gonna clean up and go work out, and then tomorrow we're back to it. We're gonna be hopefully installing the window, hopefully installing the top vent, maybe the door. After some looking, as the door needs to be trimmed off a little bit. It's a little bit too tight. So I'm gonna try to adjust the sizes on the door. We'll figure it out, but planning on being done hopefully by the end of the week. So, or pretty damn close at least, so see you then. Okay, we got the window cleaned up and we got some window tape on the sides. We're gonna throw her in there. Yes, I'm bald. Fucking start. That actually worked. Ta-da! Well, we went to go put the tires on and they're gonna need spacers because they sit right up against the edge. I didn't film most of it today, but I finished putting the fan up and got that all closed in. And then I made this frame for around the window. I just took some leftover planking, dirty ones that I had, and turned them over and hit them with a torch. And they look great. So yeah, job well done. We also put the bed in today, and it fits. Loaded up, ready for the first trip. Got her weighed up, nice and light. Brooke's the first one to snuggle up inside the trailer. Here's a picture of it.